Welcome to 360 Incentives. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. One thing I want to warn you about straight away is I'm super passionate about culture and, more importantly, 360 Incentives. One of my mission statements in life is to move and inspire people to live bigger lives than they thought possible. So when I met the founder of 360 Incentives, Jason Atkins, it was like, a match made in heaven, because he said his goal in life was to build a great company. So I said, so what does a great company mean to you? And Jason said, it's really quite simple. Number one, I want to deliver an unbelievable client experience. I want to provide an unbelievable workplace for our employees. And he said, and I want to make a difference in the world. And I figure if we get those two right, we're going to be able to make a difference in the world. He asked me then at that point, we said, why don't you come join me? And he goes, have you ever read the book, Delivering Happiness? It's a story about Zappos and Tony Hsieh's journey of building a great company. And if you haven't heard about the Zappos story, it's quite unbelievable. Tony actually built the company from zero to $1 billion and sold it to Amazon. And yes, that is $1 billion. So he did that, and he attributes their success to building a great culture. And so Jay and I looked at each other and said, you know what, let's go out and let's go visit Zappos in Las Vegas to see what this is all about, and how could we bring those same ideas and techniques here to 360 Incentives. So Jason, Kevin, one of our senior account managers, and I, we go to Zappos, we have a great tour, and then we return back here to Whitby at the 360 Incentives headquarters, and this is where the power of vision comes in. We were so fired up, we were so amped up. We host a team meeting, which we do every month, and we're telling the team about where we want to go, what we want to do with culture. And what was really amazing is the team is totally bought in. They were fired up as much as we were. I guess for me, one of the coolest things was that the team, it was almost like we opened the floodgates. And then their talent, their passion came in and started, piling on top of ours. And that's what really, caused this momentum to building a great culture. There's also something magical that happens when you write down your goals. You see, when we came back, we said one of our goals, one of our top goals, was to become one of the best places to work in Canada. We wanted to finish in the top 5 within the next 3 years. So for us, having the opportunity now to be in the top 10 after our first year and our first 1 year initiative at this, it's pretty amazing, and it's really a testimony to what our team is up to and what we've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time. Since winning the Deloitte Fast 50 award for top technology companies to watch in Canada, we've been inundated with people emailing us and calling us and saying, so how did you grow so fast? How did you build such a great culture in such a short period of time? So what I want to do in the next section here is just to really kind of go through some key things on how we were able to do that. And hopefully it's going to help you to create a great company and to build a great culture for your people as well. So one of the cool things that we did, as I mentioned, is we shared the vision and opened up the floodgates. But the next thing we did is we kind of broke down the walls. And when I say that, I mean literally, we broke down the walls. So we tore down Jay's office. CEO's office was just torn down. I tore down my office, and we moved out and worked within the people and created a real open and collaborative work environment. We also wanted to be transparent, so we felt that that was a symbol for being transparent and sharing with the company at our monthly team meetings. And so those couple things really just kind of set the tone to everybody. I think eyebrows were raised and said, oh, this isn't just a flavor of the month. This isn't just some fad that they picked up while they were traveling on business. This was real. They're literally tearing walls down. And the next phase is, and this is really important, I think a lot of people do this already, but it's creating values. And the aha for us came when we were meeting with a prospective supplier. And we were talking about our culture and the value process we were going through. And they had mentioned, oh, our company's huge on culture, and we have values too. And so Jay curiously said, so what are your values? And the girl turned to us and said, well, I don't know them all off by heart, but I know that integrity is one of them. So, she left, and Jay and I looked at each other, and almost at the same time we said, if that was one of our team members out in the world meeting with prospective customers, or even just how we interact with our clients on the phone day to day, and we weren't living the values, then we have failed as leaders. And so we said, let's make something a little bit different than values that are posted on the wall or on a plaque in the front entrance of your building. We wanted something sticky, something that people would live by. So that's when we came up with our values models. And the team all weighed in, and what we came up with was be real and have fun. Don't find a fault, find a remedy. And my favorite, live in the possible. We also went a little one step further, and we said, what does it mean to live these? And then what does it mean not to live those? And so we came up with a sheet, and now we go through that with everybody through orientation and new employees as they start. So in an effort to keep our culture top of mind and reinforce it on a daily basis, we wanted to create symbols. One of the symbols that we created is because as the sales incentives and promotions company, our platform loads money to reloadable credit cards. And so we created massive credit cards that hang above people's desks. And really, it tells them that they belong. They're part of our tribe, so to speak. And they're really cool and everybody loves those. The second thing we did is we plastered our value mottos everywhere. They're on t-shirts, they're on cups, they're like whiteboarded all over the place. They're everywhere. And the third thing we did is we hosted what we call our daily huddles. We've now evolved that to our 9 at 9. We get 9 minutes to inspire, motivate, and wow our team every morning. It's also where we communicate and share great stories that reinforce and honor our team members that are providing unbelievable client experiences or even serving each other. And I just love the morning huddles because it fires everybody up and it gets everybody focused. The one challenging thing that we did is we made a commitment to create a weekly video. That's 52 videos a year. It's a lot for our creative team, but it's valuable and it's important. And what we do in that video is that every Monday, after everyone's come back into the weekend, we play a video that has a quote of the week, great stories. We even have a values ninja that sometimes appears and honors the people that are serving our clients at a high level. And that video is great. It gets everybody fired up and focused on the week ahead. Fifth, we created a client happiness wall. And that client happiness wall is where we share all those great stories. We're getting thousands of great client stories that come in, and we want to make sure that we're posting them up, and it reinforces, again, the learning and who we are, and it reminds us of what we do every day. An interesting learning about symbols is we've been going through lots of renovations. And during the renovations, we tore down the client happiness wall because we're moving it to a new location currently being rebuilt. And during that couple week period, someone came up to me and said, hey, we don't have the client happiness wall. Is client happiness wall important, and does it matter if we share the stories? And I was like, wow, how powerful was that wall, as a symbol in our office? So it was a great learning, and I wanted to share that with you as well. Obviously, the environment matters, and as we say, it's more than just foosball tables. We wanted to create an environment that, gives a place for people to relax, to be proud of, and I can't tell you how many people are bringing their friends and their family members through the company and say, see where I work. They're really proud of it, and that's important in somebody wanting to work at a great place. And number 7, we're big on this, it's having fun. Sometimes in the corporate world, we can kind of forget about that and we just get into our day-to-day, but we have to have fun. We have a lot of fun. We have a motto that says we have a lot of fun and we get a ton done. It's said a little bit differently internally, but I think you get the message. We work hard, but we also have a lot of fun in doing so. And we believe that that's infectious. We believe that when our people are having fun, that rises their energy levels, and that translates to, when we're talking to our clients and our customers on the phone. And that's really important to translate that too, because it actually rubs off on a lot of our clients and the experiences that we're having with them. At 360 Incentives, we have what we call our success library. And one of the great books on that shelf is the book that it starts with Why. And it's a book written by author Simon Sinek, and it's a great book, one of my favorites. And so we have to look at it and say, why culture? And to us, it's very intentional and it's very strategic. And the reason why behind it is really about, when you think of today's world, we live in an amazingly social media rich world. Everybody is sharing their client experiences, and more often than not, they're sharing their bad client experiences. The customers that we represent, we're an extension of their brand. And so what we want to be able to do is that we know that they invest millions of dollars into building a great brand equity and great brand value. And so we want to make sure that we are serving that brand at a really high level. And we want to make sure that we're wowing people when they're calling in or when they're on the phone. And so one of the great stories that I like to tell is, I get thousands of stories, as I mentioned earlier, is I got an email from a client. It was 10:30 at night, and they wrote in the email, they said, Mr. Skinner, it's 10:30 at night, and I just want to let you know that I left your company a voicemail at 9 p.m. At 9:30, I received a call from one of your client happiness managers. And within about 30 minutes, they were able to solve my problem. She said, I left a voice message and someone called me back. When does that happen? And she says, here's the real thing that made it unbelievable to me, is at the end of the call, they said, if you ever have any problems in the future or you just have some questions, here's my cell phone number. I ask everybody out there, when was the last time you called into some customer service department and the customer service manager gave you their cell phone and said, call me anytime? To me, that's unbelievable. Now, I never asked our client happiness manager to do that, but our culture is something that is just reinforced people to want to go that extra mile to serve our customers, so that when we are an extension of the brand that we're serving, we want to make sure that they're saying, I am a, whatever that client is, customer for life. So one of the things we need to do is we need to stop and slow down and celebrate. Early on in my career, I was really horrible at this. Jason and I are always challenging ourselves, and we're always challenging our teams to take a deep breath, stop and slow down. We're always running from one victory to the next, or ticking off that goal and moving forward. So one of the things that we're big on here at 360 is celebrating those wins. And we do that in our monthly all hands meeting. And what we do is we typically will share the wins, we'll tell great client stories, we'll also share what's happening in the company so everyone knows where we're going and how we're building the company. If you want to see just some of the things that we do to celebrate, check out our 360 Olympic videos. During the Olympics, the Summer Olympics in London, every day we came in and we had an Olympic Games. You know, it's kind of interesting to watch people. We have a lot of, obviously we're all adults that come in here. It's amazing. You throw in an Olympic Games in the morning every day and watch adults become kids. It was awesome, but it also brought so much energy that the team rolled into their day, super fired up to serve our clients and to deliver at a high level. And that was just great. So if you want to, you know, the other key thing that I have to share with you, we celebrated through visuals. And so our graphic designer, Chris Wildig, came up with an amazing culture book. If you want a copy of it, just send me an email to the email address that pops up on your screen, and we can send that off to you, no problem. It's a year in review, if you will, in pictures and in visuals about what our culture is and how it's impacting our clients. We believe that our culture is a competitive advantage, and we're super proud of that. One of the things that we're also proud of is that we've never lost a client who's launched our platform. And we believe that's because of the culture that supports an unbelievable client experience. So in closing, I wanted just to let you know that we believe in givers gain. And part of this video is to share some ideas, but there's so much more to share. So if you've got questions on how can you build your company culture and how can we help you to do that by sharing thoughts or ideas, we'd love to be able to do that, or even by getting the culture book in your hands. More importantly, if you're a manufacturer or a company that's saying, how do we get a company like this to be an extension of our brand and serve us at a high level and incorporate that culture and leverage that technology platform to increase our sales and our client engagement through leveraging the 360 technology and platform, then obviously we want to hear from you as well. So thanks very much, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future, and we'd love to hear your stories of great culture because we're always learning as well. Thanks a lot.